Jibreel is the greatest angel. Among all the angels Allah created, Jibreel, peace be upon him, holds a rank of immense honor. He was not chosen for a small task. He was chosen to carry revelation from the Lord of the worlds to the prophets. Through him, Allah's words reached humanity. The Qur'an calls him the trustworthy spirit, showing his purity, strength, and complete reliability. When we reflect on Jibreel, we are reminded that the message of Islam came through the most noble means. Allah calls him mighty in power. Allah describes Jibreel as mighty in power. This is not ordinary strength. This is strength given by Allah to fulfill a sacred mission. Jibreel carries commands from the heavens, delivers revelation, and acts only by Allah's permission. His power is majestic, but his obedience is even greater. He teaches us that true strength is not arrogance. True strength is complete submission to Allah, obeyed by the angels. Jibreel is honored in the heavens. The Qur'an describes him as obeyed and trustworthy. This means the angels recognize his high rank and carry out commands delivered through him. Yet even with such status, Jibreel remains a servant of Allah. His greatness does not make him independent. It shows the perfection of Allah's order in the unseen world. He descends with Allah's permission. Jibreel does not descend whenever he wishes. He comes only by the command of Allah. The Qur'an says, "We do not descend except by the command of your Lord." Even the greatest angel waits for Allah's permission. This teaches us that everything in the heavens and earth moves by Allah's wisdom, timing, and decree. Nothing is random. Nothing is outside his control. Jibreel, peace be upon him, loves the believers. One of the most beautiful teachings tells us that when Allah loves a servant, He calls Jibreel, peace be upon him, and tells him to love that person. Then Jibreel, peace be upon him, loves them, and he announces to the angels that Allah loves this servant. Imagine your name being mentioned in the heavens. Imagine Jibreel, peace be upon him, loving you because Allah loves you. This is one of the greatest honors a believer can receive. Jibreel, peace be upon him, made dua for the Ummah. Jibreel, peace be upon him, cared deeply for the Muslim nation. In a narration, he prayed against the one who reaches Ramadan but is not forgiven, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Ameen. This shows how serious Ramadan is. It is a month of mercy, forgiveness, and return to Allah. Jibreel's peace be upon him prayer is a wake-up call for every believer. Do not let the doors of forgiveness open and still walk away empty. Jibreel, peace be upon him, taught Islam to humanity. In the famous Hadith of Jibreel, peace be upon him, he came in human form and asked the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about Islam, faith, spiritual excellence, and the final hour. After he left, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, that was Jibreel, peace be upon him. He came to teach you your religion. This means one of the clearest summaries of Islam was taught through Jibreel, peace be upon him. He did not only bring revelation. By Allah's permission, he helped teach humanity how to understand and live it. Jibreel, peace be upon him, led the angels at Badr. At the Battle of Badr, the believers were few, weak, and outnumbered. But Allah supported them with angels. Jibreel, peace be upon him, was among those sent in support of the believers. This moment reminds us that victory does not come from numbers alone. victory comes from Allah. When hearts are sincere and trust is placed in Him, Allah can send help from places we cannot see. Jibreel, peace be upon him, visited Maryam. Jibreel, peace be upon him, was sent to Maryam, known as Mary, with news of a miraculous child, Prophet Isa, peace be upon him. He appeared to her by Allah's command and delivered a message that would change history. Maryam responded with purity, humility, and trust in Allah. This event shows that Jibreel, peace be upon him, was involved in some of the greatest moments of divine mercy and miraculous power. Jibreel, peace be upon him, brought every revelation. Every divine revelation came by Allah's command, and Jibreel, peace be upon him, was the trusted carrier of that message. He brought the Qur'an to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, confirming truth and guiding humanity. Revelation was not random, altered, or uncertain. It came with honor, precision, and trust. Through Jibreel, peace be upon him, Allah's guidance reached the hearts of the prophets, and then reached us. Jibreel, peace be upon him, was the Prophet's companion for 23 years. For 23 years, Jibreel, peace be upon him, was connected to the mission of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He came with revelation, guidance, strength, and reassurance. Every Ramadan, he reviewed the Qur'an with Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and in the final year, he reviewed it twice. This relationship shows the care Allah gave to preserving the Qur'an and supporting His messenger through every stage of the mission. Jibreel, peace be upon him, was seen in human form. Jibreel, peace be upon him, sometimes appeared in human form so the companions could witness and learn. In the famous narration, he came wearing very white clothing with very black hair, with no sign of travel upon him. The people did not know who he was until Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, explained that it was Jibreel, peace be upon him. This shows that the unseen can come close by Allah's permission, even when we do not recognize it. Jibreel, peace be upon him, was present on Isra and Mi'raj. On the miraculous night journey, Jibreel, peace be upon him, accompanied Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, from Makkah to Jerusalem and then through the heavens. He was present during one of the greatest honors ever given to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Yet even Jibreel, peace be upon him, had a limit. This reminds us that no matter how great the creation is, only Allah is unlimited. Jibreel's, peace be upon him, presence on that journey shows his closeness to revelation and to the Prophet's mission. The Prophet, peace be upon him, described his true form. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, saw Jibreel, peace be upon him, in his true form. He had 600 wings and filled the horizon. This was not symbolic. It was a real sight from the unseen world. His size, beauty, and majesty are beyond ordinary imagination. But even this immense angel is still only a creation of Allah. His greatness points us back to the greatness of the Creator. The greatest lesson about Jibreel, peace be upon him. The greatest lesson about Jibreel, peace be upon him, is not only his strength, beauty, or rank. It is his obedience. He is mighty, yet humble, honored, yet fully submissive, close to the prophets, yet always a servant of Allah. Jibreel, peace be upon him, teaches us that the highest honor is to serve Allah carry truth, obey sincerely, and remain humble no matter how much status Allah gives. Jibreel, peace be upon him, is one of the greatest creations of Allah. He carried revelation, supported the prophets, loved the believers, descended with mercy, and stood among the angels with honor. But every part of his greatness reminds us of something greater, the majesty of Allah, the Lord who created him. So when we hear about Jibreel, peace be upon him, let our hearts say, "Glory be to Allah." How great is the creator of such an angel?
If this reminder touched your heart, don't forget to follow, like, and share this video. Help get the message to others. And if you would like to support more Islamic reminders and nasheeds, the donation link is in the description. Jazakallah khair.